I think that you've got to look at every situation in its own merits. If you're coming and looking at stars, a star that, you know, craves media attention all the time, a Katie Price that does everything in public and reveals everything about herself and her family in public, doesn't deserve, in my view, the same protection as a star that keeps him or herself out of the spotlight and doesn't milk the media. Every situation's got to be looked at its own merits, Nicky, but the only way it's going to happen is to get a press complaints commission that is really that independent, strong, and able to curb the excesses of the media. So before they destroy someone's life, they've got to go to these people and show that it's in the public interest. And if they can do that, they can publish, and if they can't, they can't.
Right, so there should be a bunch of the great and the good sitting at a panel deciding what and what isn't in the public interest. Are you comfortable with that?
That's the best you can get. It's not perfect, but it's the best you can get. And if it's people that understand the media and are totally independent and aren't in the pockets of the media and aren't being paid for by, like the present Press Complaints Commission was, then you've got the best chance of getting. You must have a free press, but you must have a responsible press, and that's that middle ground between everybody's right to privacy and a free press, which in a democracy you must have.
Okay, to go back to a previous example, politicians having affairs all those years ago, David Mellor, was that in the public interest? Because I would bet that there would be people on that panel would say, no, it's not in the public interest.
My view very much was this: if you are a politician lecturing the public about family values...
Was he lecturing the public about family values?
Yes, and back to basics. That was a big part of the major government at that time. And you, David Mellor, and you, John Major, are having affairs, right, then I think we, as a country, are entitled to know. Maybe you disagree, Nicky.
No, I don't. I'm just interested. Should that be statutory then? I mean, should that...
No, you can't make these things statutory. Every situation has to be looked at its own merits.
Right.
If Major and Mellor hadn't been lecturing us about family values, then possibly they wouldn't have justified. It wouldn't have been justified, but they were. So in my view, it was. Double standards.
Yeah, a lot of people will say absolutely. What about the practices? What about the hiding in the bushes, the not necessarily the phone hacking, but
you can only justify it if it's a matter of national security, if you're exposing corruption in high places, if you're exposing paedophiles or activities that we should all know about and we should be brought out into the open. You can't justify it for checking if this star is getting his leg over with this person or this figure's at it with this choir boy or whatever, in my view.
Well, yeah, okay, well, Vicar and Choirboy, perhaps you would be able to justify it, but I absolutely take your point. Kate and Jerry McCann, some people are saying, well, if you sup with the devil, you need a long spoon and all that stuff, and they were a little bit naive. Is there anything in that? Again, you look at every situation. As far as I'm concerned, the McCanns sought the help of the media because they were desperate to get their little girl back. Yeah.
Any parent can understand that. So for the press to give that as a justification for what they did to them is absolutely obscene and absurd. And when you read the kind of things that they were accused of doing, you know, once they were given that El Guido status, the way that Robert Murat was attacked by the British media as well, once he was given the El Guido status, there's no way it can be justified. You've got to curb the excesses for the good of the press, because right now, more and more people are saying, well, we're not going to buy newspapers because of all the things that are coming out during this Leveson inquiry, the lies, and also the way that the stories were obtained.